Hey guys, welcome to lesson 3, rewiring the physical brain. So, this is part 1. I think we'll do this in 2 parts, the theory and the practice. So this is the theory behind it. So the idea is that our physical brain has something called neuroplasticity that is understood by modern science. The idea that in our brain we have all like these kind of like little connectors, like little electrical circuits, and they're called neurons, I believe. Like imagine this is 2 little neurons in your brain, and they're like electrical circuits, and they're not connected. But when you start having a certain belief, like I'm really cool, or I'm amazing, if you have these thoughts over and again, they fire together, little electric impulse. I'm amazing. And as you have these thoughts excuse me, as you have these thoughts repeatedly, they begin to fuse together. And once they are fused together, it becomes much more easy to have the same thoughts over and over again. And this is why we tend to have the same thoughts over and over again. So for example, we might have been studying some law of attraction teachings or positive thinking teachings, and we're trying to say stuff like, I'm amazing, I attract money into my life, I'll be rich. And there's this voice in the back of your head saying, no you won't, life's difficult, life's hard, life's a nightmare, everything's going wrong, oh my god, I'm such a failure, I'm such a loser. And you're trying to think, I'm amazing, I'm rich, I'm abundant. You keep having these negative thoughts, you can't stop them. So this is the reason, because through our conditioning, through like society and childhood, and like you know, teachers at school putting us down or whatever, and bullying at school, and subconscious beliefs from our parents who believe they're not worthy because they grew up in an even insaner society than what we grew up in. Like our beliefs, when we have thoughts repeatedly, they become beliefs. And what a belief is, kind of, I guess it is when neurons become wired together in the brain. So somehow we've got to begin to rewire the brain. So what I'm going to do as part of the course is I'm going to give you like kind of some research material, because we kind of need to somehow begin to rewire our brain. So we've got to somehow get it into our brain that we are like connected to source consciousness, that we're not separate from creation, that we're actually infinite beings of source consciousness, and we're part of the source, and we're actually directly connected to all beings in creation, and all of creation actually exists within us, where there is no separation in creation. We're all one being, we're all the same being. And so when you understand this, that there is no past, there is no future, ultimately it's just an experience, a human experience. Higher dimensional beings don't experience time like we do. And so there is no past, there is no future, there is no out there. Everything actually exists in here, and all dimensions, all realities, all beings, and all the entirety of creation actually exists within our consciousness, because our consciousness is actually God, is actually source. There is no our consciousness and God's consciousness, our consciousness and the extraterrestrial's consciousness. There is just consciousness, and we're part of that conscious field. And so when we understand this, we understand that, like, how easy it is really to connect to other beings in creation, to do the channeling process. But if we have beliefs that, because our beliefs affect our reality ultimately, and our beliefs can create blocks in us. So if we don't believe we're connected to the ETs, we will have a belief that channeling, and we have a belief that channeling is not possible because we're not connected in any way, shape or form. That will block us from entering the channeling state, or certainly become a major hindrance. So a large part of this is, and the biggest challenge I've seen teaching people to channel throughout the years, the only people that have really failed, from my perspective, is the people that have strong beliefs that they can't do it. They have this belief that I can't do it, like I'm not good enough, I'm not high enough frequency, I'm not there yet, I don't think it's my path, I don't think it's for me. Usually some lack of self-worth thing, or some belief that they can't do it. And so the majority of students I've worked with have all picked this up, have all channeled. I'd say 80 to 90, I know 80% plus have all channeled to some degree, some amazingly off the bat. Everyone's at different levels, everyone's at different degrees. Don't judge yourself, get over judgment. One rule of this course is you don't self-judge yourself. So if you find yourself self-judging yourself and not being as good as someone else, please just try not to judge yourself. It can be hard at first, but it's just only going to hinder you. And we're all at different phases, and we've all got different paths. Like some of us, like channeling is a big part of our path, so it'll come very naturally to us. and but for others perhaps channeling is just like a sort of side bit to your path, so it might be a bit more challenging. Like if it's not a huge part of your theme, you'll probably find it more challenging. And don't judge yourself for not being part of your theme, because all themes are equal. You know, maybe it's, you don't know what your theme is. Your theme might be to like manifest $1 trillion, and like manifesting $1 trillion is no lesser than being a channel, as long as you're not greedy and attached to it. That could say that is lesser. Nothing is lesser in reality, but obviously we're trying to come out of greed and selfishness and all that. Like relatively, like that's a lower frequency. That's another story. Anyway, so yeah, so beliefs. So we've got to rewire our beliefs. We've got to understand that channeling is real. We've got to understand that extraterrestrials are real. We've got to understand that fairies, interdimensional angels. We've got to understand that source is real. We've got to understand that connection to these is possible, because we are directly connected. We are of the same consciousness ultimately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some background reading to begin to rewire your brain, because the more we can like see, like this helps for me specifically, because I'm kind of scientific, I'm kind of knowledge oriented. It might not be so beneficial for you if you're more like intuitive and more feely, like a more arty, singy person. We'll work with some ideas to help you guys with this as well, but it'll help you all to some degree. And so I'm going to give you some research to do into some documentation, some videos into the idea of things like the law of attraction, oneness, quantum physics. Don't worry, it might sound daunting. Obviously I don't get quantum physics on a mathematical level, but just some of the theory behind it, and just seeing that, like, just hearing a quantum physicist say, you know, some super intelligent mathematicians say that like, it's my belief from all our calculations and our theories that we are all one and death does not exist, and so these kind of things. So I'm going to give you some research, some homework to do, so you don't have to like spend hours on it. Spend as much time or as little time as you feel drawn to. Try and tune into what resonates. Don't, if you feel like fear and like some fear, you're not going to understand it, don't let that hold you back. That's like a negative belief. Don't listen to fear. Listen to your resonance. Listen to your excitement. Push through that stuff. But yeah, just check out the documentation I'm going to give you as a homework, and this will begin to give you other perspectives of reality and begin to help rewire your brain. And don't worry, it's all doing it naturally, so you don't really have to do anything. Just do a bit of reading, watch some of the videos, and it'll begin a natural process. So see you in video 4, guys. Shivai.